We were able to just serve the country in Paraguay in a number of different ways. So just a wide variety of experiences to really help us embrace the attitude of a servant heart. It just was an amazing trip, impactful in the lives of our student athletes, but also really bonded us together with the people that we encountered.
We visited different nutrition stations. We went to an orphanage, we built a house, and we played a bunch of basketball games. So we just made a lot of relationships with different kids and different people, and we just really wanted to spread the love of Jesus through the way that we served.
The power of prayer really hit me on the trip. The people that we met in the communities, they're so dependent and faithful on God, and they just pray constantly every single day for everything. Everything that they have is because of the grace of God and just from Him giving it to them and them praying for it and asking for it. And so I think that really struck me, is that just to be specific in my prayer and to constantly be in prayer with God and talk with Him and just through everything, and because that's what they were doing, and it was just so evident that their walk and it's just everything is because of God. They depend on Him. And so for me coming back home, I'm like, wow, the power of prayer is really cool.
What I really took away from it was for how little these people had, their faith was so big, and to me that was very powerful and inspirational. So it really made me kind of take a step back and look at everything with an open mind, and yeah, just faith-wise, it was very inspiring for me.
I thought it was life-changing for everyone on the team, just to be in those communities and hear the testimonies of the people there, and how God has just transformed their life and been so involved in their life, and how they've decided to follow Him, and how that has just changed their outlook on life and their daily walk and everything that they do in life. I think it was neat for us to see in every community that we visited and every person that we talked to, it was the same thing, just like the grace of God and how He transformed their lives. So for us to see that, we were like, wow, you know, God is working through these people and He can definitely work through us.
We walked into community recognizing that their version of poverty is maybe materialistic, but wow, are they rich in their relationships. And I think it really forced us to look at what we value. And I think for us to go into community saying, I'm here to help you build your home, but you can teach me how to love people better. Or I'm gonna come to your church and we're gonna serve 150 kids running all over the place, but you're going to teach us what your faith looks like and how you have so little, but yet your faith is so strong, and we can learn from that. I think it just was a valuable experience for us to go through, but also it allows us to bring something back home as well. It's not just something that we experience for 2 weeks in Paraguay, then we come home and we say, wow, that was great, and then we go back to our day-to-day. I think our day-to-day changes now because we understand the value of relationships, and we understand that if you want to get to know someone, you have to be intentional with the time that you spend with them.
Basketball was a lot of fun. I think we played 6 games. The gyms were completely different than here. We played on cement floor, so not as much spring, and then a couple gyms that we played in, there was wood, but there were holes or puddles on the side. But it was really cool, and the girls that we played against are some great athletes, and it was fun to play with them, but then also after the game build relationships with them, as we would like share where we came from and how we're here just to love and share God's love. And so we shared a little bit of story with them about like Trinity Western and what we're all about and what we stand for, and it was cool just to hang out with them and talk with them and take pictures with them, and it was fun.
You know, 2 or 3 hours in some ways is not going to change someone's life, but yet a meaningful encounter with someone who truly can show God's love to you can change that person's life forever. So I think we have to leave some of those encounters in God's hands and say, you know, however we want to be used, you know, that's up to Him. But I think we were able to really go and help a lot of the local ministries just shake hands with people that they had not been able to connect with and connect the dots between different ministries. Then I think that's probably where we made the biggest impact.
Well, I found that it really brought us all together and really close as We found out things about each other that we didn't really necessarily know. So just seeing how everyone reacts to different situations differently was really neat to see. And yeah, it pretty much just brought us really close.
You know, there are some athletes that realized, I live a lukewarm life. I don't really stand for anything. And I think that was a struggle that a lot of athletes went through. Or, I don't know what I stand for, or what do I believe? And I think seeing people with so little, with such big faith, and I think for our athletes, it was really changing their perspective of, wow, I have a lot, and I take a lot for granted, and how does that change me as a person in terms of how I encounter people and how I live my life. So hugely profound in a lot of different ways, and I think as a coach, I'm very humbled by being given this opportunity to help this program take the next strides in its future.